Welcome to Business Authority Radio, bringing you insights from today's thought leaders, professionals, and influencers. With your hosts, Neil Howe and Craig Williams.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host, Neil Howe. And today my special guest is Bryce Johnson. Bryce is a tax director at Armanino LLP, and he helps entrepreneurial businesses and their owners enhance profitability and after-tax cash flow by implementing tax-efficient strategies tailored to the client's goals and or their professional desires. So welcome to the show, Bryce.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me on today.
Well, let's get right to it here. Tell me a little bit about yourself and Armanino LLP and what kind of clients you help.
Great, Neil. My name is Bryce Johnson. I'm a tax director in the Dallas, Texas office of Arminino. I've been in public accounting since starting my career back in January of 2001. So coming up on 17 or 18 tax busy seasons here this spring, and just looking forward to helping clients with their tax needs and tax goals. I graduated college from the University of Arkansas with my bachelor's in accounting and furthered my education at the University of Tulsa, where I received my master's in taxation. After that, I moved back to Arkansas, worked in a regional firm there for 5 years, then worked in Tulsa at a mid-tier firm for 4 years, then found my way to Dallas, Texas, where I've been for the past 7 years, starting off at Ernst & Young and then now at Armanino LLP.
So you've definitely got a lot of experience there, not only with the education, but the different places that you have worked as well. So what kind of clients are you helping mainly at Armanino?
Yes. What I found working at various sizes of firms throughout my career is the fact that I have a real passion and desire to work with entrepreneurial businesses, the engine that makes the economy go is what I like to call it. The local business owners that kind of spur the economy and drive growth in whichever market they're in. So Armanino, we provide audit, tax, business management, consulting services, technology solutions, and just provide a diverse array of services to help clients not only with their tax needs, but also with their audit needs, succession planning needs, business valuation needs, software and technology implementation. So we run a wide array of services that we can provide for our clients. And, the real pleasure is we get to work with our clients one-on-one to help them implement their goals and strategy.
Right. And these entrepreneurial businesses that you speak of, the local businesses, they really are the backbone of the industry in America. But being an entrepreneur, you're always creative and thinking and having ideas. Sometimes the whole tax and CPA and focusing on the numbers gets a little bit left behind, and they do need the help. So what kind of problems do these entrepreneurial businesses have?
Just generally how to deploy capital and the most efficient and effective way to deploy capital. Obviously, taxes kind of cut into the available capital that you as a small that an individual as a small business owner has to deploy. So, one of the problems is, or one of the solutions that we like to find is to minimize or kind of decrease that tax liability where possible, so the clients have more after-tax cash or capital to deploy to grow their business or expand and just kind of spur the economy on to greater heights, so to speak.
Yeah, well, definitely having that free cash flow is definitely needed for businesses to grow and put into marketing or, just whatever they need to put it into. But what kind of strategies do you help them with to try and increase that tax flow, that after-tax cash flow?
Right now with the new tax reform law being passed, obviously one of the key topics or key items that we're really going to be working on with our clients are kind of entity structure planning and compensation planning, because there are some, under the new tax law, for a small business owner or for business owners in general, there are some non-cash deductions that are available to taxpayers. And depending on the entity type that they've set up or established, and depending on a compensation or wage that they pay themselves and their employees, there are some non-cash deductions that are available that that we as tax professionals are going to look to help our clients maximize, so it generates or increases their cash flow to hire new employees, expand their business operations, work towards growing their businesses.
So how about those entities that you talked of? What benefits does one entity have over another?
Well, it's dependent on, a taxpayer by taxpayer basis, based on a multitude of factors, depending on, your income at the partner or shareholder or owner level, establishing a S corporation versus a partnership versus a Schedule C operating entity, sole proprietorship. Those are the types of entity classifications or reclassifications that we're looking at. And then obviously now with the corporate tax rate going from 35% to 21%, here going forward is setting up and establishing your business as a corporation more beneficial to you than setting it up as a flow-through entity such as an S corporation or a partnership. Those are the type of things that we really like to work with our clients, kind of put pencil to paper, sit down with them, listen to them, what their needs are. Are their needs or desires to grow their business and not extrapolate cash from the entity and use free cash flow to grow the entity? Depending on that answer is going to depend on what type of entity we set up. Are they a mature business enterprise that has gone through significant growth and now they're looking to capitalize on that growth and redistribute cash back to the owners that have put in the blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak, to generate that growth? Then it's more of a, how can we plan from a compensation perspective and an entity structure perspective? And do we want to move or mitigate cash tax exposure that if you're at a corporate C corporation entity, kind of moving to a pass-through entity so that you can distribute cash on a non-tax basis? So just working with clients, listening to them, wanting to know what their goals are, kind of knowing them intimately, kind of where they are in the growth process. Are they mergers and acquisitions mode? Are they, a mature company that is looking to maintain what they've built, but not really looking to go out and acquire more? So just knowing your clients and their businesses and what their goals are for future desires is really what we kind of want to sit with and focus with them on.
Yeah, that sounds like, every individual is different. Every business is different. They all have different needs. But I'm going to throw a general question at you right here. What has the new cut in the tax rate for businesses done for businesses? How is it really going to affect them? Is it going to release more cash so that they can grow faster?
Well, from a corporate perspective, the decrease in taxes should obviously generate more cash flow that the company has to go out and either return capital to their owners through dividend distributions, return cash to their employees by paying them a higher salary and wage, and just or growing the business and increasing the economy by expanding your business services or products that you offer. So generally speaking, the decrease in corporate taxes should distribute cash to investors, owners, employees, where those dollars are, going into the pockets of individuals and being, redistributed into the economy.
Well, that was certainly the whole goal. I guess we have to wait and see for a year or two if that is actually the case.
Yeah, 2 months into it, it's hard to say how it's going to go, but I know there's high hopes for it, so we'll just sit back and enjoy the ride and see where it takes us.
Exactly. So give me an example of a few different cases of the kinds of clients that you work with. Maybe, a sole proprietor that's doing about 100,000 a year. What kind of problems do they have, and what can you help them with to get their numbers straight so that they can really grow?
Yeah, I think working with a sole proprietor in that range, the goal is obviously time management. I think is kind of what they're most focused on. What can they do, or where can they spend their time in their business that will help drive growth? Do they need to spend money on employing a second individual to help them with their business so they can take time off the mundane or administrative work that they're having to spend time on, to really enhance their tools on and spend time on, where their abilities are and what they have that specializes them and or their product to generate, more business, so to speak.
Yeah, you often find that these sole proprietors just have a passion for what they do, but that other stuff that you need to run a business just, gets pushed to the side. It's, not a passion, so they don't want to do it. So, yeah, just discovering when the right time is to hire somebody else to come on and do those things is a major issue, because the time it takes is, it takes you away from your business, from growing your business.
Yes. Or as an outsourcing firm, are there additional services that we can provide? Payroll, for example, if you have employees, or, just general day-to-day bookkeeping and cash.
Mm-hmm. So what about
cash bank reconciliations management? Are there things that you do that obviously don't drive business growth that we can help with, or kind of the other things that we look for when working with a client like that?
So what about a bigger company that has some of these systems in place to take care of, the accounting and the taxes? What can you offer them, or what do they still struggle with as far as strategy and helping them grow?
Yeah, so from that perspective are the systems that they have in place the proper systems? Have they outgrown what they're currently using and don't know it yet? Is there a more attractive product that can be implemented and used within the organization to, expedite reporting or free up employee time to work on other items, things like that. And then just, helping with trends, doing some financial analysis, helping with trends. Where did you deploy your capital this year? Where would you like to see it increase, decrease? What are your goals for expansion? Things like that. Just being the service provider that can provide multiple services and just kind of help them, point them in the right direction, or maybe have a more defined path to go down.
Yeah, as you get bigger, you really need to have those systems in place that are efficient to get the most out of every employee and every hour that they're giving you. Now, let's take a step up from there. And, maybe one of the bigger companies that you work with that you might dominate their market and be thinking about maybe merging with other companies or buying other companies. What kind of help can you offer them?
We provide due diligence services. Is what you're looking at from a diligence perspective? Are there any landmines, so to speak, that you may be acquiring or inheriting? Just from a business valuation perspective, is what you're wanting to pay or willing to pay, is the value for that company equivalent to what the quote unquote sales price is from a valuations perspective? Kind of what systems are you on? What systems are they on? Is there systems integration efficiencies that can be utilized to make the transition seamless or more seamless from that nature? Are there tax planning initiatives or strategies? Do they have some tax attributes that you can utilize that may, drive up or down the business valuation? Just all those services generally are what we look at for companies that are in the mergers and acquisitions phase.
Right. And these are all things that, have to be taken care of and take a lot of time. So you got to make sure that whoever's doing these things for you is competent and knows what they're doing.
Yes.
Now, as far as misconceptions about tax and business, what do you think the biggest misconception is that the business owners have?
From a tax perspective, and I'm not really sure it's a misconception, but taxes are complicated. And for a business owner that's not well versed or well educated in the tax realm, the thought of taxes is daunting to them. So, I think it's not really a misconception. The perception that taxes can be daunting are a legitimate concern for the majority of small business owners out there. They don't understand it. They don't have the time to understand it. So being that person that works in the tax world on a day-to-day basis, having the right answers, having worked on planning initiatives throughout my career are, something that we can really use and leverage and help our clients with.
Right. And it seems like planning is the main theme that keeps coming up in everything that you've talked about so far, Bryce. You've got to have a plan. Otherwise, I don't know exactly what the statistic is on the companies that fail, every year, but I know it's pretty high, and
Yes.
the planning seems to be a major problem.
Yes, having a plan and really listening to your clients and understanding where they want to go are paramount. I guess probably back to the previous question on a misconception, one of the misconceptions I think may be that kind of a one size answer fits all from a tax perspective, like, oh, you set up your business this way, do this, you're going to make a lot of money. I really think taking time to know your clients, know their business, know their goals, and coming up with the tax strategy and solution that best benefits them personally and individually is paramount to what a good tax professional does, as opposed to just thinking or saying that, oh, here's your tax answer, you need to do this, before you've even met down and sat with your clients and discuss kind of what their goals are.
Right. Now, with so many businesses failing and the knowledge being out there, we know that coaches can really help a business or a person succeed, just as a coach in the tax arena or the accounting arena can really help a business succeed as well. Why do you think more people aren't going to professionals like yourself, Bryce, and getting the information that they need and leaving it too late and ultimately failing?
I think probably price plays a factor. Do they have the cash available to spend on a professional services firm, or does that cash need to be deployed to maintain inventory? So obviously there's the cash needs of the company and what it needs to operate versus kind of strategic planning and what it can be used on to help grow. I think also probably the time commitment may be another mitigating factor on reaching out to a professional services firm, especially if you're kind of in the weeds, so to speak, on your business operations and working it on a day-to-day perspective from 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. at night. You don't really have a lot of free time to go meet with a tax professional or a finance professional to kind of sit down and talk through goals and establish a plan, because it's not really just a one-time meeting for an hour and you have a result. It's developing and building a relationship over time, getting to know the client, and the client also getting to know their professional services provider, right? What their capabilities are, and kind of, taking those meetings, working together with the plan, and then, a lot of times coming up with the plan may be simple and easy, but then how do you implement the plan? And then what do you do? What are the key steps to be mindful of to keep the plan on track and moving forward? Because it's not just a one-day effort, it's an everyday effort to try to keep the plan that's been established implemented.
Definitely. Well, Bryce, has been very good talking to you today. Now, tell our audience how they can find out more about you and Armanino LLP.
Okay, Armanino LLP, we have our website that is armininollp.com, ARMANINO LLP.com. Out there, it'll list our services that we provide, kind of give you a background or a history of the firm, kind of let you know what we're in business for, what our goals are, what our purposes are, our values are, and just kind of what we stand for as the firm. Personally, I'm located in Dallas, Texas. And our main line here is 972-661-1843. And that's for the Armanino Dallas office.
Well, it seems like, Bryce, that you definitely spend a lot of time with your clients to get to know them, which is, paramount to success in their planning. And, if you don't know what their goals are, it's very hard to give them a strategic plan to save money on their taxes and ultimately help grow their business. So if there's anybody out there, especially in the Dallas area, that is looking for somebody to listen to them and help them out with their business structure and their taxes, give Bryce Johnson a call. So thank you very much, Bryce, for being my guest on Business Authority Radio today.
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for your time.
And to our listening audience, if you like what you hear, hit that like button and share, and we'll see you next time on the show.
You've been listening to Business Authority Radio with Neil Howe and Greg Williams. To learn more about the resources mentioned in today's show or to listen to past episodes, visit businessauthorityradio.com.